Consumer fraud and market integrity. It's different than corporate fraud and it's different than fraud enforcement, right? Like if you go to an adoption agency and you want the adoption agency to certify your adoption, but they don't have the same religious preferences you do, so they're not going to certify your adoption, which is different than determining whether or not the financing company that gave you the loan to get your car is solely entitled to the proceeds of the, what do they call it when you repossess it, and that the pass through doesn't have any claim. You all are so monstrous. It is a complete desecration. This is why you didn't let me have a lawyer. This is why you didn't let me go to court. This is why you didn't let me even get my high school diploma and keep it long enough to go to college. You didn't even let me go to college because it seems like you will literally do that. You will literally let people drive children around like vehicles. And if they don't like the way she rides after a while, they'll just crash her into a fucking wall. And then somebody's going to be able to pull a religious exception. Let me ask you a question. Is it an argument that can be accepted that slavery and forced prostitution is contrary to your religious beliefs? Is it a arguable, is it a acceptable acknowledgement that you have a spiritual refusal to engage in fraud involving financing that requires you to simulate you're a Jewish hooker and then get murdered so that then you can launder money and resurrect as a Christian? That argument didn't make it. You put it on same sex couples adopting children. And so, consumer fraud, market integrity. They're a religious based service provider. It's against their religious beliefs in order to retail that kind of product, and they're not going to certify it. That's what you just fucking did yesterday. This is the third time. This is the third time since Kennedy stepped down that you guys have done something like this, where you've paired something that was about covering up for biological and chemical weapons with trafficking fucking children. What do you expect to have happen now? Every one of you did it. Did you have fun? It's like a fucking blockchain on how to traffic fucking children and get away with it. Except you didn't.